the sequence with Drew Barrymore in the beginning of the movie, and they finished that sequence, and Miramax stopped production. They were like, we don't want to make this movie anymore. We don't know what it is.
All right, guys. Well, you guys are in for a treat this morning. It is my absolute privilege to bring to the stage at this time, Skeet, Ulrich, and Matthew Lillard!
Good morning, Orlando. Do you know that it's like 7 a.m. in LA or whatever? I have never woken up to this many people in my bedroom, that's for sure.
That just got creepy. Do any of you have jobs? It's so funny. I literally was like, there's gonna be like 8 people here. Thank you for being here. Wow, I can't believe you're here. Thank you. Do you want to ask a question?
Yeah, I kind of to start, I wanted to mention how obviously, Skeet, you got to return for Scream 6, and now Matthew. That is the perfect shot. There you go. Matthew, what can you tell us about Scream 7?
You guys, you want to hear everything?
Yes.
Okay.
Wait, who are you playing?
I come back as a fairy godmother. It's gonna slay. Am I coming back? I don't know. I'm not used to that question and actually having an answer.
Yeah, getting to answer.
Yeah. Yeah, it's so funny. I've been asked literally 1,000 times a day since the first movie ended if I'm coming back. And I'm happy to report I am.
I mean,
It's so funny.
Matt called me and told me when word came down, and I was so ecstatic for him, because anybody who's been to one of these or knows him or has followed him knows how much he has wanted that. So I'm very happy for you, brother.
That's it. That's all we can talk about. Thank you so much.
Okay, I'm gonna come out here.
I appreciate it.
Hey, do not grab his ass. Listen.
Whoa. I get to decide.
Consent.
All right. Who back here has questions?
If you're out there, all they can do is put me on the screen.
That was my plan.
Stay out there. Stay out there.
Guys, thank you so much for being here. I'm just curious if there's anything to touch on with like moments of improvisation on screen between you guys. I would love to hear if there was anything like that.
Well, let me ask Matt. Is there somewhere in the script that was written that you get hit with a phone?
I don't think it's funny.
That
me
was
with the
definitely not in the script. Yeah.
It's funny because there is an F-bomb in that, and they had it's a PG-13 movie. It originally came, no, that's not true actually. I think it's an R, but we originally were rated an NC-17. And the things that changed it from an NC-17 to a hard R was the fact that his guts, the kid in the beginning, Drew's boyfriend's guts, used to fall from his lap onto the ground, which apparently that makes it too much. And then the other crazy thing is that when we're stabbing each other, sorry, spoiler alert, 30 years later, sorry, not sorry. But there was a sound effect of the blood dripping, and that sound effect turned it, again, from an R to an NC-17, which is crazy, right? But in the movie, you're only allowed 2 F-bombs, and because I threw an F-bomb into that improv, Tatum, Rose McGowan, lost her F-bomb, they cut one of her favorite lines, and she's still angry about it. Yeah, but there was a lot of improv. That was the great thing about Wes. Wes Craven would like capture as written, and then both Wes and Kevin would allow us to expand on separate takes, which is why the end of that movie is so crazy, because we added things the entire time, and some of them stayed, and some of them didn't.
I would like to thank you very much for giving the spotlight for a second. I just want to ask Mr. Matthew Lillard.
Okay, that was a great panel, everybody.
I would like to ask, what was your experience working for these past 20 years with Scooby-Doo, of all people? You're pushing your luck, Scoob!
Thank you for your question. Any question about me is important. It's good. He never shows up. He's always late for work. No, but there's a bunch of actors or voice actors here today at this con, which I think is great to celebrate the voice actors. I love that job. I love that part because it's made an impact on kids today, right? Are still watching that cartoon. They're still watching that movie. And so to have a legacy and to hold up a legacy like an iconic part like Shaggy is really one of the highlights of my entire life.
You did this at one convention, Matt, and I loved it, and I think they would probably love it too. Explain how the walk developed.
Oh. You're putting me on the spot.
I know. You like the spot.
Okay. Me? So when we did, one of the challenging things about Scooby-Doo is we had to take a two-dimensional character that everyone knows and loves and transform it into a human being. And that's a weird job. And so I hired two acting coaches who were like dear friends of mine, and we rented out a studio space, and we really figured out how to sort of embody the physical nature of Shaggy. And so there's the Shaggy right there. He's trying to leave. Why are you leaving? Bro, I'm about to tell you how to walk. Do you have to poop? Like, man, go do it. All right, you ready? All right, so the first thing is you put flippers on your feet. You put on like big, like, you know, flippers, like scuba. Flippers? Yeah, flippers. Yeah. So you put them on your feet. That's pretty stupid, right? You're like, oh, but that makes sense. Like you're trying to figure out how to physically do something. And then, oh, you put strings on your hands. But then, what? Hold on a second. I'm not done. And then everything is guided with Shaggy and Scooby as food. So you put it all together and you lead with your mouth. There you go.
Love it.
I just blew out my knee.
I wanted to ask Matthew, how would Shaggy fare in a Scream movie?
He would 100% kick ass because he would literally look at the first dead person and run for days. He would do what every normal person would do, which is like, I'm out. I don't want to be here. I don't need to save anyone else. I'm leaving. Skeet, what's it like to live a life of rejection?
That's what I was saying earlier.
It's a serious question.
Yeah,
it's
no, it's not easy. It's not easy at all. I just read for Christopher Nolan's The Odyssey and got down to me and two other dudes and found out last night it ain't me. But that's the whole. I mean, yeah, it's almost a weekly experience of putting yourself out there for things and hoping and falling in love with material and then having to move on. There are big wins, so that makes it palatable, but it's a lot of rejection. But You know, when you do what you love, which I think is one of the most important things that you can do in this world. How many of you are artists, actors, and singers, and writers, and painters, and yeah, it's not an easy life, but you're doing what you love to do. So when you get those moments that you get to do it, it makes everything else fall away. And I think it's crucial that you find what you love to do. My kids are now almost 24, and it's something I've really instilled in them, that they find that thing that they truly, truly love to do, and that they never give up once they find out what that is in pursuing it. So I hope that you can do that as well. Don't hold Hollywood as the standard of success for if you're a filmmaker in any regard. The success is you finding that you love it and doing it in any way you can, whether that's making movies with your phone or with your friends or whatever. It's no different for us. We just get, people put up a lot of money for us to have really cool toys to make those things with. But it's the same love and the same passion that you have for it is no different than what Matt and I have. So
Good answer,
yeah.
bro. I don't think anyone's really focused on a question. You look like you're focused on a question. You have a very punk rock haircut.
Thank you. My name's Christy. First of all, I have to say thank you guys, to both of you guys, for being here. As a parent who has passed on the love of the movie to their child, you both as parents understand how that is. But what I want to know is, from both of you, how does it feel to be a part of a film that's a cult classic?
That's an ever-evolving feeling, to be honest. I mean, I think for a long time, I was kind of unaware of the fandom. We were a bunch of kids trying to, break into the business in a bigger way. But we were really a bunch of actors who got together and took a chance on a film that even Hollywood didn't necessarily want to take a chance on. I don't know if you know, but we started off shooting the sequence with Drew Barrymore in the beginning of the movie, and they finished that sequence, and Miramax stopped production. They were like, we don't want to make this movie anymore. We don't know what it is. We were on film in those days. It took Wes and two of the producers editing the beginning section of the movie together, rushing it to New York from Napa Valley, California, for the Weinsteins to look at it and go, oh, okay, now we get it, keep going. So the movie was almost shut down completely 2 weeks into filming. So we were really just up there enjoying ourselves, taking a risk, had no idea, that anything like this would ever exist. We were just doing what we love to do. So again, back to that point, do what you love to do, and you have no idea what may come of it. I love you.
What's your question?
Hi, I love you dearly, but my question is for Ski.
Next question. Hey, yes. Is it about Jericho?
She said, come here.
Hey, wait, did you see that? She's like, come back here. Yes, mama.
Okay, my question is, how did being a recurring character on most of Riverdale, the craziest show to ever exist, change your life?
You say the craziest show that's ever existed?
What'd you say? How did it change my life?
Have you seen Twin Peaks? Yeah, you need to see more TV.
I think in hindsight, the thing that changed my friendship with Cole, to be honest. He's a lovely human being who is deeply insightful and intelligent and interesting and funny and
All right.
and he's become a dear friend of mine. So when I look back, at that show, I really think of that relationship that became part of my life. The show itself was, I raised my twins on my own. So I only worked in LA from the time they were born until I did Riverdale when they were almost 16, like a month before they turned 16. And I didn't have nannies or anything like that. So they were always on set. They were always with me. And when I took that show, I was doing 4 flights a week to Vancouver because it was the first time out of town. So it was 170 flights a season. And so a lot of it is a blur. Most of those seasons are airports in my memory. You know, when we got to season 3, my kids begged me to slow down a bit and take some time up there. You know, if I didn't work for 2 days, I came home. Then we set a thing like if you don't work for 3 days, you know, then come home. So I got to slow down a bit and enjoy it a little more and see Vancouver a little more. But in terms of the plot of the show and the story and all that, it got weird. It got really weird. I love the human aspect of the first season, and I thought it was what really drew people in. And my kids being that age that sort of was the demo at that time, I felt like the parents really, you know, that the reason it resonated around the world like it did was that it gave kids an opportunity to go, wait, my parents are screwed up like that. Or my parents have those flaws or those faults. And there was a relation aspect to it, to viewers. And I'm not you guys or whoever was a big fan of it, but I think that's what the linkage was in my mind. So I thought there was a lot of value in the beginning of that show that sort of went into oddities that I didn't really understand. And so when it came time for me to re-up my contract or not, I wasn't in love with the show anymore. I love.
All right.
Wait, where are you?
Right here.
All right, go on. I'm done. Let's move on.
We take the relationship between fans really seriously. I think that we believe that you can impact people's lives that come to your table. You can hug them, you can see them, you can make them feel seen. Like there's a relationship that I value. Like I will catch a little kid struggling or a queer kid or somebody with addiction or somebody having a hard time, and I will hold the shit out of them because I think you can save a kid's life. So together, we have that relationship with fame. Other than that, other than getting into like a great restaurant and not having to wait, it's just a job. Does it make sense? Yeah. You guys, thank you for being here. We really expected nobody. We're like, it's so rude that they put us first because nobody's gonna be there. And then you guys, all of you are unemployed. It's amazing. Thank you so much. Thank you for being here this
Truly,
weekend.
thank you. We love you so
Have
much.
a great weekend. Bye.
We'll
One
see
more
you out
time,
there.
everybody. Matthew Lillard, Skeet Ulrich.